Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the Gamertron Show, and welcome to a very different video than what I usually do. Consider this video what you will, a rant, a review, preview, some guy talking crap into his microphone. Point is, I'm here to talk about a new game that's coming out in a couple months. If you guys don't know what that game is after reading the title of this YouTube video, let me give you a hint. It involves Titans. No, not that Titan. No, not that Titan. Not that Titan. Oh, for f***'s sakes, really? Okay, the game is Titanfall.
I just know. I'm gonna make them pay.
Ah yes, Titanfall, announced at Microsoft's E3 2013 press conference. When this game first came out, I barely acknowledged it. I knew very little about it, and I didn't really care. I was more excited about games coming out in that current year, 2013. I haven't really been getting into Titanfall until the past week or so. Few reasons for that. One, at the beginning of 2014, the game launch lineup for this year has been looking very disappointing. If you watched my top 10 games of 2013 video, go watch that. Here's a link. Go watch that. You'll know I think 2013 was one of the best years for video games ever and one of the most exciting. 2014's lineup of games seems very boring and disappointing, to me at least. The only game I was really excited for until I heard about Titanfall was Dark Souls 2. 'Cause it's freaking Dark Souls. Anyways, a friend, a week ago, told me that they were excited for a game coming out called Titanfall. Oh yeah, it's that new big mech game, what's so special about it? Sent me a video. And my hype levels went from 0 to...
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?!
So yes, I am very f***ing excited for Titanfall, and you should be too. Now, a lot of people could simply argue that this is simply just another FPS, another first-person shooter, another Call of Duty Halo clone. To which I respond... Shut the f*** up! There is reason to be excited for this particular first-person shooter, and that is its developer, Respawn Entertainment. Respawn is a brand new developer, and this is their first game. But the very intriguing and important part of this is that Respawn Entertainment is comprised of former Infinity Ward members. For those of you who don't know, Infinity Ward are the original developers of Call of Duty. More specifically, the guys who make up Respawn Entertainment are the guys who brought to you the original Modern Warfare. That's right, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. These are their developers. They are also the developers of the also critically acclaimed Modern Warfare 2. So, those of you who are longtime Call of Duty fans have something to be excited over. If you were a big fan of those two games, of the first two Modern Warfare games, and you consider them to be your favorite, you have very much reason to be intrigued by Titanfall. Many people see the Call of Duty series taking a downward spiral, which can be easily proven with Call of Duty Ghosts. After the past few years of the Call of Duty franchise dominating the video game market as the top-selling game of all time, this year the latest game in the Call of Duty franchise got its ass handed to it by the latest Grand Theft Auto sequel. Not just that, many more people than usual, and several of them being avid Call of Duty players and fanboys, have been proclaiming that Call of Duty Ghosts is the worst in the series, having one of the worst and most unentertaining of single-player modes, and several choices made in the new multiplayer that most of the community do not agree with. Needless to say, Ghost is a downgrade from what people are usually expecting from the Call of Duty franchise. So, those of you who are avid COD players and fans of the series, and are disappointed with the road that Call of Duty is taking, as well as several other multiplayer shooters, Titanfall may be the kick in the ass that this franchise, this genre needs. But what about you who are not Call of Duty players, who despise Call of Duty? You're probably thinking that Titanfall has nothing for you, and that you shouldn't be interested in it. Because, well, these are the original developers of the first Modern Warfare games, so of course it's gonna be like Call of Duty, copy-paste, nothing of interest for me. Ah, but you would be wrong, good sir. Believe me, Titanfall and Call of Duty are two very different beasts. Titanfall has several features that are usually the standout points that most games market as. Some shooters market that they have a parkour system with vertical movement that's fast and hectic and adrenaline fueled. Other games promote that they have giant f***ing robots, giant mechs that will destroy and beat the shit out of each other for your amusement. And other games announce that they will change how multiplayer shooters are done. Titanfall has all these things in one and more. Titanfall has vertical, fast-paced movement, seen in games such as Brink and Mirror's Edge. Players will have access to a jetpack and the ability to wall run, adding a new dynamic as to how you will maneuver around a multiplayer map and get the drop on your enemies. Titanfall has, well, its title characters, the giant mechs called Titans. Oh, come on! We are not talking about Attack on Titan! This is Titanfall! Knock that shit off! Yes, Titans, the giant mechs that every player will be able to call down from the sky and wreck other people's shit up with giant guns and unique abilities. But probably the most interesting and enticing fact about Titanfall, the reason that this game should at least be tried, is a unique new feature that I have yet to see from any first-person shooter. The combination of single-player and multiplayer. What the developers are calling Multiplayer Campaign, which is the standout mode in Titanfall, combining single-player elements such as character, story, motive, factions, lore, and combining that with your typical multiplayer. Don't tell me this doesn't at least fascinate you slightly. Playing with friends and strangers while you go through a plot along with them of a brand new sci-fi epic. These things are at least what have me excited about Titanfall. And in all honesty, I am not a multiplayer gamer. I usually stay away from multiplayer games. I own most of the Call of Duty games, but I don't play their multiplayers. I don't like Call of Duty multiplayer. I play Call of Duty for its action-packed single-player. That's just the kind of player I am. However, do not think that I am completely against multiplayer or stay completely away from it. I have participated in the multiplayer of several shooters, such as Crysis 2 and 3, Payday, Payday 2, and even Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I am no... when it comes to multiplayer games. But there are two things that you people must take into account. Those of you who are not excited for Titanfall, those of you who think it will suck. Take this into account. This is being made by the guys who made Call of Duty what it is today. They made Call of Duty for Modern Warfare, the game that changed multiplayer forever. Whether you like the Call of Duty franchise or not, you must accept the fact that that game made the Call of Duty series the blockbuster household name that it is today. So, one would think that these guys know what they are doing. They know how to make a good multiplayer game. They know how to get you hooked. They know how multiplayer works and what the people want, what the people need. But while that is a pretty big reason that we have some big names, big brains, people who know what the hell they are doing making this game, what gets me the most excited is a word. One word that the developers have used on a constant basis in videos, in internet posts, Twitter posts, just general messages to the public. And that word is fun. They have used the word fun to describe their game, to describe the choices that they are making in this game. They have said that they are making this and this decision because it is fun. Now think about that for a moment. When is the last fucking time you have heard a developer or a publisher, a game studio, say anything about their game being fun or that they are doing something because it is fun? Fuck no! They make fucking decisions based on focus groups, based on what's mainstream, based on fucking internet comments, and what raging fanboys declare that they want. I haven't heard a developer say that they were making a decision based on fun since Radical Entertainment developing the prototype games. And fuck you, Activision, for shutting them down, you bastards. Now, I have talked to you why I am excited for Titanfall, and why I think it will be big, and why I hope it will be big. So as you can see, I have very few negatives to say about this game. As a matter of fact, I haven't said any negatives at all. Let's talk about some negatives. Negative number 1. The obvious elephant in the room. This game is being published by EA. Fuck. Now that raises a few alarms, and I understand why. This is EA, responsible for such atrocities as the horrific release of Battlefield 4 and SimCity in their unfinished, buggy, glitchy states. The guys who are putting microtransactions in just about all of their f***ing games. They even made their way into my precious Dead Space free. EA, who has been voted worst company in America twice in a row! So don't get me wrong, there is need for concern when it comes to EA. But to add a positive to a negative, this is Respawn. These are the guys who made Call of Duty what it is. So one would think that EA wants to create a Call of Duty killer. They've tried with Battlefield, and Battlefield has its own audience. It cannot trump Call of Duty as hard as it tries. Battlefield is for some people and not for others. So they need a new IP, a new game, to come out. And one would think that EA would give a little more leeway, a little more freedom to the guys who made the biggest franchise in video game history next to Mario. So yeah, I think they'll leave their bullshit out of Respawn's game if they want to make this big. Next call for concern, the thing that will probably affect its sales the most. Titanfall is not being released on any PlayStations. That's right, PS4 and PS3 users, you are out of luck, unfortunately. Allow me to go on a personal rant about this subject. What the hell, Microsoft? Did you learn nothing from the Xbox One fiasco? Greed equals pissed off customers. Why are you limiting the sales of Titanfall, game that has the absolute potential to kill Call of Duty, to be the next big thing, to dominate over the first-person shooter multiplayer market? One of the reasons Call of Duty dominates is that it's available on everything! Seriously! Call of Duty's on the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, iPhone, Wii! It's freaking everywhere! No wonder it does well, due to its availability. So Microsoft, by limiting Titanfall to these free systems, PC, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, you are losing sales! You are losing potential customers! Why would you make this stupid decision? You're basically throwing away money! Throwing away money that you could be putting in your own pockets. Why would you not make Titanfall available for everyone and maximize the sales? Alright, rant over. That just makes no sense to me, and that is a negative of Titanfall. That will hurt the game. The fact that it is not available to PlayStation users. So, because of this single unfortunate fact and Microsoft's selfishness, Titanfall may not be the Call of Duty killer I want it to be, and several other people want it to be. However, there is a possibility that it could be its runner-up. The game that finally gives Call of Duty a run for its money, a reason to improve itself and try to really compete. Cause in all honesty, besides Battlefield, which has been giving it somewhat competition, Call of Duty doesn't have really much to compete against. Due to the winning formula that the guys at Respawn developed, and the availability of the game to almost all of the general public. And the reason I am blaming Microsoft is simply because there have been no other facts released, no other statements claiming why they can't make a PlayStation version of Titanfall. Now, despite this hindrance to the game, I have every reason to believe that Titanfall will do quite well. And you can help with that. Now, if we all truly want a game to replace Call of Duty, to become the next big multiplayer shooter for everybody to go out and play and talk about, become the new and latest household name, then you need to spread the word. You need to talk about Titanfall. You need to tell your friends, family, other gamers you know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment and tell me what you think of Titanfall. So, until then, I will see you guys next time.